Good afternoon to all. I welcome you all for day two of our 7 day biological sciences. I hope yesterday's session was very useful for your research. And today I will like to introduce our resource person, Professor N. Kirbashankar. Professor N. Kirbashankar is an accomplished professor with over 11 years of teaching experience at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels, specializing in accounting and finance. He holds an MBA in HR and finance. He has done PhD in management in Bharathidasan University, Trichy. Apart from this, he has an industry experience. More than that, he has the core competences of general administration, student management, teaching and research, startup operations, module, course design, finance and budgeting, paper and book publication, organizing programs, and conducting. So now I'd like to hand over the session to our researchers. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everyone. I welcome you for the Day 2 Faculty Development Program. I am N. Kriba Shankar from Department of Business Studies, and today we are going to deliver the essential aspect of research, review of literature. So before that, yesterday we saw about yesterday session, Introduction to Research. It is a solid foundation for today's topic. So in today's session, we'll explore the importance of reviewing existing literature. So good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you for the Day 2 Faculty Development Program. I'm Professor N. Kriba Shankar from Department of Business Studies. Today we are going to see the essential aspect of research, the review of literature. So before going to today's session, let's take a moment of an insightful session that was taken place yesterday on the topic Introduction to Research. So that topic laid a foundation for today's topic. In today's session, we will explore the importance of reviewing existing literature in the research process and how effectively gather the relevant sources and how to synthesize this information to support the development of our research work. In today's session, we are going to see about the following contents. First thing is we are going to see about understanding the concept of review of literature, explore the purpose. Third thing, we are going to see about the understanding systematic steps for conducting a literature review and 5 C's in writing literature review and types and methods and evaluating the sources and tools and technologies. In the concept of review of literature, we will begin by defining what is a literature review is and why it plays a pivotal role in the research process. And the purpose, we'll discuss the various purpose of literature review, which serves to find out the research gap and supporting your research questions and providing context for your study. Then in the third thing, systematic step for conducting literature review is we are going to see about the structured approach to conducting a literature review, and further that we are gathering sources to analyze and synthesize the information. Next, we are going to see about the types and methods where different types of literature reviews, such as systematic reviews, narrative reviews, meta-analysis, methods of approach, and next one is evaluating the sources, where for a researcher, it is very critical the thing to evaluate the sources effectively. We should discuss how to assess the credibility, relevance, and reliability of the literature sources. Then in the 5 C's. We are going to see about citing. First one is citing. Second one is comparing. Third one is contrasting. Fourth one is critiquing. And last one is connecting. And next, last one is tools and technologies. We should move to the next slide. So this is about the introduction of review of literature. So a review of literature serves as the backbone of any research, which offers a comprehensive analysis of existing knowledge and which insights the relevant to the topic. So it helps to understand the evolution of ideas and the concept in the field, and it also identifies the gaps in existing research to position our study effectively. And third one is establish a strong theoretical foundation from credible sources. So what is a literature review? It is a structured analysis of existing research relevant to a specific topic or research question. So it is an overview of a research on a given topic to find out the related research questions. So literature review is an important part of research and should be treated as such. So it should be systematic and it should be comprehensive examination and evaluation of scholarly articles, books and other sources which are relevant to a specific topic or research questions. It also summarizes the summarizing and synthesizing and critically analyzing the existing body of the knowledge to identify the gaps and trends, which helps to pinpoint the areas where the research is very much necessary. Next is characteristics of a good literature review. So it has 4 characteristics. First one is focused. So focused in the sense you need to be well executed. Literature review should be addressed. So you should be very specific in your research question or your theme, so that it helps to narrow down the scope to ensure that the review remains relevant and directly related to the research objectives alone. So your focus should be a proper manner. Second characteristic is comprehensive. So comprehensive in the sense a thorough review should be gone through for all the relevant studies and what is your perspectives. So which helps to capture the breadth of the existing research. So this helps to provide a complete picture of the field and avoids overlooking important findings. So you must be very relevant to your studies and what is your subject matter, that should be very comprehensive. That is a second characteristics. Moving to the third one, it is a critical literature review which evaluates the quality of the research, then identify the research gap and also the existing research. So it goes beyond everything, that is the summarizing the findings and what thoughtful analysis are there and what is the strength of the and what is the disadvantages of each sources and where the areas to be more focused. It has to be done in the critical part. Third characteristics. Then fourth one is organized. Fourth characteristic is organized. In organized thing, all the things should be present in a logical and coherent structure. Whether you choose what type of approach, whether it is a chronological approach or a thematic approach or a methodological approach. So you should be very specific how you are going to organize. The organization of the review helps the readers to navigate the information easily and understand the connection in what area you are studying about your research. So this is about the characteristics of the research. Next is exploring the research. So exploring the purpose is, these are the things. First thing is to build a theoretical foundation. So theoretical foundation mainly talks about constructing a solid theoretical framework for your study, from where you have to start. Basically, in review of literature, you need to refer the previous research. So you need to groundwork a lot, because there are more number of established sources are there. With that, you need to focus everything, and you need to understand the concept, and you should inform the existing knowledge. That is talks about the theoretical foundation. Second one talks about refining the research questions and methodology. So while refining the research questions, you need this literature review helps you to refine your research questions. That is, you need to focus on the research problem alone, right? And what methodology are going to adopt for that, and where the insights that has to be taken, from where you have taken the research, how you are shaping your research approach, so that you can narrow down your focus, and you can able to select appropriate methods for refining your research questions and methodology. And third one is to establish a credibility and context for your study, right? This mainly focus on how the research is taking place by demonstrating a thorough understanding of the existing literature. So you must show how your study fits into a broader academic context. So from where you have found out the research, so what are the areas you have covered, that has to be mentioned very clearly. That talks about credibility. Then fourth one talks about ensure a comprehensive understanding of the field. So in this, you should have a deep and comprehensive understanding of the field. That is, in which field you are working, you must have a thorough knowledge about that. So we have different fields like commerce, management, and all that. So you must be very have a deep understanding about that. It explores your current state of research, and also it enables what ideas and what theories and what are the approaches that you are using for your research. That is, it talks about a comprehensive understanding of the field. You must be updated about that. Then fifth one talks about duplication of the effort. So by identifying what has already been studied, right? So this review of literature prevents unnecessary duplication of research, because in reviews you can't able to frame the previous reviews. You need to set up new kind of research things only, so that it saves time and resources by helping researchers focus on areas what they are underexplored and what are things not yet addressed. That has to be focused, very important. The next one talks about highlighting the trends and developments in the field. So it helps to track the what are the latest trends and developments that has been taken place in the field. If you By reviewing all those things, you need to analyze all the sources. You need to go through the magazines, right? What are the technological advancements and what are the methodologies that has been evolved, so which provides the insights for the future direction of the research. So that helps the things for the development in the field. Then last one talks about identify the gaps that your research can address. So this is one of the important functions of your literature review, where its ability to highlight the gaps in the existing research. So this gap represents the opportunities for a study to address the unexamined areas. So each and every one will be referring different kinds of research areas. So all can't be addressed by one person. So that so you can able to see what are the areas which are not covered, so that you can able to bring new insights and new contributions to the field. So this is about the exploring the purpose. Next, we are going to see about the systematic steps for conducting a literature review. The first thing is defining the research scope. So, in the research scope, you need to define the boundaries of your review. So, it helps to identify the specific topic. Based upon the topic, you need to find out what are the research questions that has to be done and how much time frame has been taken for collecting the literature. So with the help of the things, you can able to focus all the relevant sources. That is about defining the research scope. Second one talks about search for relevant literature. So relevant literature talks about different types of academic databases and libraries and other scholarly sources that are used for the relevant literature. So you need to choose the keywords which helps to find your studies directly or which are related to your research topic. We have different types of academic databases that has been available in the resources. So based upon the databases, you need to find out everything. We have discipline-specific databases. We have multidisciplinary databases. We have full text databases, and we have citation databases. So in each and every databases, you can able to find out according to your research field. You can able to find out your data. For example, for discipline-specific databases, you can able to use databases like PubMed. So they are very much specializes like medical, biomedical, and life sciences of research. The next one is IEEE Explorer. So they focus on engineering, electronics, and computer sciences. Next one is multidisciplinary databases that is being used, that has been known for everyone. It is a Google Scholar, which provide access to a wide range of disciplines, which includes articles, books, and conference papers. Then another one is the Web of Science. It covers the scientific, social science, humanities, contents from big impact journals and all those things. The next one, next database is full text database, which focuses on science director. That is scientific, technical, and medical research. Then Springer Link, so which provide access to journals and books across various disciplines. And last one is citations. So where you can able to find like Scopus and Web of Science, which helps to provide metrics on journals and author impact. Then Web of Science talks about provide citations and tracking metrics for research impact evaluation. Then third one talks about Third one talks about screen and select studies, which has been focusing on two important things. One is inclusion criteria, and another one is exclusion criteria. So in this inclusion criteria, there are the characteristics which studies which must meet the things that has been included in your review of literature, which directly addresses your research question and which align the scope of your review. Say for example, recent publications, depending on the field of relevance. For the last 5 years journals, you can able to refer. So more than 5 years means you can refer, but not more than 10 years you can't able to go. That talks about inclusion criteria. Then next one talks about exclusion criteria. So this mainly talks about the methodological rigor, where poorly designed experiments or surveys or studies with unreliable data. So in this, you can able to find out the duplicative or things which do not contribute additional insights to your review. So where the researcher finding out insufficient data or inconclusive findings which is not relevant to your research. So that has to be avoided. Next one is organizing and categorizing studies. So first one, it talks about thematic organization. So thematic organization where it is focused on the group studies by sharing topics or themes which are central to your research question. For example, you might categorize the studies under themes such as impact of social media on various aspects of life or any technological advancements in education. So with this, you can able to identify the patterns, trends, and key areas of the focus and within the field. Then second thing talks about methodological organization. So methodological organization focus on the types and methods which is used for qualitative, quantitative, and mixed data. For qualitative studies, you need to focus on experience, perceptions, and interpretations. Whereas in quantitative studies, you need to emphasize data collection, statistical analysis, and numerical research. And for mixed methods, you need to combine both the qualitative and quantitative approaches for a comprehensive understanding. So where this approach helps in comparing different research techniques and their effectiveness in addressing your research questions. Then third thing is chronological organization. So it talks about the timeline of publication. That is from where the research has been evaluated in the field. So this helps to highlight what are the ideas and findings that have changed over time, and what are the emerging trends and new directions in the research area, whether such things are implemented in that or not. So which helps to make your review structured and make it more easier to synthesize and analyze the literature. The next one is critically analyzing. So in that you need to focus on these four important things. That is the accessing the validity, right? So validity refers to whether the study is accurately done or not. So it helps to measure your research design and the data collection methods are appropriate according to your research question, and whether the correct tools has been used and correct techniques has been used for doing the analysis part or not. That is talks about validity. The next one talks about reliability. Right, reliability is concerned whether the results are consistent across the studies in different contexts. So you need to evaluate your similar results which have been found in other studies. So based upon the consistency, so which is a good indicator. So with the help of that finding, so you can able to make your data is reliable or not, and if there is any flaws are there, that has to be rectified in your reliability. The next one talks about significance. So the significance, what is the impact that has been found out in your study, in your field? So with the help of the findings, what new insights or what you are confirming to the existing knowledge, right? So you need to fill the identified gaps in the literature and how it advances and how it has been understood in your research area. That has to be followed the significance. The next one is additional considerations. So is there any bias that has been presented in the study, like sample size or researcher is doing any bias things? So whether that data is supported for conclusions, or are there any inconsistent things that has been made or what? So that has to be clearly addressed, and the limitations also to be clearly addressed, and it should acknowledge all the factors like validity, reliability of the findings. Then last thing is you need to analyze each and every aspect, and you need to study everything very carefully. You need to ensure your literature review is grounded in credible and high quality research, providing a strong foundation for your own study or not. The next one talks about synthesize findings. So you need to identify patterns, you need to contrast, you need to spot the research gap, and you need to develop narrative things. So identify patterns thing. What are the common themes or consistent results across multiple studies has been done. You need to highlight the repeating conclusions which emerge the things and which are engaged. So these patterns indicate the area of concernness in the field and where you can able to guide and focus your research. The next one talks about contrasting result. So in contrasting result, so what are the discrepancies and conflicts you find it out in your studies? So for example, one study might suggest AI improves accuracy, while another study highlights the what are the challenges in implementation. The next, then you need to find out what is the contrast that reveals between both the studies. Whereas in AI improves accuracy, and while another study focuses on the implementations. Right, so this contrasting result, and you must reveal the areas of debate or uncertainty which require further exploration. Then next thing, focusing what are the research gaps. So research gaps, finding out a lack of sufficient data. For example, you can't able to limit your research for long term impacts, like say for example AI in healthcare. So there will be a potential gap for to do your study across in the field. The next one talks about develop a narrative. So this narrative should be an outline, what is known and what is still focused, and what are the areas has to be done for further research is needed, and what is the foundation for a study, and how we are positioning with a large research landscape. So narrative things that has to be focused out. The next thing is write the review. So writing a literature review is very important thing. So it is essential to use a clear structure to ensure a clarity and coherence manner. You should organize your review, which includes introduction part, then body of the content and conclusion. So first we see about the introduction part. So introduce the research question, which emphasize the importance of your topic. So, so the topic should be focused on your research question within your context field. This is the stage for the reader and establish the relevance of the review. So the reviewer must focus on the topic and the research question. That is the first thing in the introduction part. And second thing is the body of the part. So in the body of the part, it organizes the body of the review according to a structure which best fits the literature for reviewing, where you can use different kinds of structures like thematic structure or a chronological structure or methodological structure. Thematic structure includes like group studies by common themes or topics. So this structure helps to identify the related findings and identifying what are the trends that has been prevailing in the particular field. Then second one talks about chronological structure. So in the chronological structure, it talks about only the present studies in the order of publication to showcase from where it has been evolved in the field over time. Then in the methodological structure, you need to compare and contrast the research methods used across the studies, like highlighting how different approaches and contribute the findings. So this is about body of the content. The next last one is conclusion. In the conclusion part, summarizing the key findings and their implications for your research, that has to be done properly. So as a whole, you need to summarize and conclude each and everything, and you need to highlight the research existing research gap and suggest the areas for future research also. So this will not only conclude the review but also help to position your study with broader academic conversation. So this is about writing the review, writing a literature review. So introduction, body, and conclusion. You need to very strong in that. Next, we are going to see about revise and update. So it focuses on three things: revisiting the review and addressing the feedback and maintaining the consistency. So in revisiting the review, you need to regularly check the published sources. So whether any new research is continuously published or not, you need to keep on checking the relevant databases. You need to be stay up to date. So up-to-date references mainly focus on the recent findings, whether any new studies has to be done or any new review has been included, which reflects in the latest knowledge in the field. That is about revisiting the review. Then second one talks about addressing the feedback. So feedback mainly focuses on the based on peer and supervisor comments, so which helps to seek the feedback from peers or academic mentors. So their suggestions will help to identify the areas of improvement in terms of clarity, in terms of depth, and in terms of consistency and structure. So which also help to identify your weaknesses also. Then maintaining consistency. So what is the tone and what is the format and what is the citation style that has to be used, and all the things has to be followed uniformly throughout the study. So consistent style and formatting are essential for readability and academic rigor. So you need to focus on the citations and standardize the style like APA style, then MLA style, etc. So which consistently follows across all the reviews. So revising and updating should be an ongoing process, which helps to keep your review dynamic and reflective, which helps to evolve in the field of study. So this is what revise and update. Uh, So next we are going to see about types of literature review. So first one is narrative review. So there are five types: narrative review, um, systematic review, meta-analysis, scoping review, and theoretical review. Now we'll see them one by one in detail. So narrative review provides a broad overview of the research topic, which helps to summarizes the existing studies and provides a qualitative interpretation of your findings without following a strict methodology. So there is no methodology that has been followed in the narrative review. So it provides an overview of broad topics, which is flexible structure. So, however, this type of review may lack a rigor, and the researcher may select studies based on their subjective view of the topic. So, you can take an example for narrative review: impact of social media on youth behavior. So, which includes various studies from different time periods, like different methodologies and different findings. So, where you cannot able to focus on strict research methods or data consistency, because the overall trend is changing every day. So impact of social media on youth behavior can't be followed in the narrative review properly. Then second one talks about systematic review. Systematic review is a highly structured and comprehensive approach for reviewing a literature. So it involves a clearly defined research questions, systematic search strategies, which also include an exclusion criteria, and this often used for meta analysis of findings. So in this systematic review, all the things are done in a systematic manner. So where you can able to do all the things very clearly. So what is the identification, where you need to assess, and where you need to synthesize all the relevant studies, all will be done in a systematic manner. So the users it uses to help well defined and analyze all the relevant studies. So here in systematic review, you can take an example of how to effectiveness of online education by improving the student learning outcomes. So we need to systematically search academic databases for all the studies. So you need to apply a strict inclusion and exclusion criteria so that you can able to access the articles for the last 5 years alone, and where you can able to synthesize the findings. So this process ensures the review a thorough, transparent, and reliable thing. Though it is a time-consuming process, but the review provides a strong evidence for making decisions correctly, which helps us to minimize any unbiased things that has not been followed in the studies. This is about talks about systematic review. Third one talks about meta-analysis. So meta-analysis is a type of systematic review which combines the statistical results from multiple qualitative studies to derive a pooled effect size or general conclusions. So this approach is highly statistical, which is used to determine the overall impact of a specific variable across the different studies. So you need to focus each and everything. Focus on the studies with similar methodologies, which helps to consistently use all the things. Say, for example, meta-analysis on effectiveness of antidepressants in treating depression might include several studies. So this helps to find out what are the depression symptoms which is used for a common scale. By combining the results of all the studies, meta-analysis calculates the overall effect, size effect, which tells us how much the persons are depressed and what are the symptoms that has been focusing on the symptoms. So it mainly focus on high quality studies with a similar research designs and advanced statistical techniques which has been used, which are valid and meaningful. Next one is scoping review. So scoping review mainly focus on broad mapping area, which is available for the research on a particular topic. Uh, so it may take a deep research without any deep analysis. It helps to identify the knowledge gaps and shapes the future research directions. So scoping review mainly focus on the key concepts and what are the types of evidence and what are the gaps in the research area that has been focusing on particularly. So it is done broadly in a systematic manner, and it include a wide range of sources and different study designs has been followed. Scoping reviews are exploratory research type and used to understand the extent and nature of the research in specific areas. Next one is theoretical review. Theoretical review focuses on exploring theories, models, and conceptual frameworks which are related to a specific research topic. So it develops the relationship between key concepts and seeks to refine or challenge the theoretical foundation of the field. So they mainly focus on three important things. One is the theory, second one is the model, and another one is the conceptual framework. So it explores the relationship between the concepts and refine the theoretical basis. For instance, if you're focusing on theoretical review on leadership theories, means you should examine different models to find out what transformation leadership is taking place, what are the transactional leadership, and how it has been related to each and other, and how the sources are contributing to understand the leadership in the organizations. Whereas in theoretical review, it lacks the empirical data, so making it more abstract. It does not test what is the present data and what is the new data that has been focused. So you can't able to build, you can't able to refine, or you can't able to expand anything in the foundation for the future research. This is about the theoretical research. So it is entirely different theoretical review. So this is about the types. Please wait. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Mute now. Dear participants, kindly access the chat box for the poll. I have please wait the chat box. Next, we are going to see about methods of literature review. So there are three methods: thematic approach, chronological approach, methodological approach. So the thematic approach we use to organize the literature based upon the major themes or topics which are emerging across different studies. So this method helps to group the studies into specific areas of focusing their topics. So where you can able to spot what are the key areas for your study, and for what are the things that has to be accepted, what are things that has to be disaccepted in your focus of your field. So this thematic approaches is focusing on three important things, like three key areas, that is agreement, disagreement, or focusing the research. So it helps to identify the patterns or gaps in specific themes, which is helpful for synthesizing the diverse studies with common subject areas. So, say for example, thematic approach, the review of literature on social media's impact on education. You could focus on group studies by themes such as social medias, which students are highly engaged. So, social media and academic performance, or social media as a teaching tool. The thematic representation provides a clarity on which specific area your interest is, and in which area the research is going to taking place. That is what talks about thematic approach. The next one is a chronological approach. So in the chronological approach, it studies about the publication dates. So where it allows the reviewer to track the evolution of ideas across the trends in the past years. So this method shows the research which has been focused and what are the methods are being changed that has been taking place historically, which is especially useful for understanding the progression of theories or the technologies that has been focused on the given field. That is the arrangement of study in order according to the publication dates, that is in descending order, which helps to show the evaluation of the ideas and what are the trends that has been prevailing over years, and how they are highlighting the research and how it has been focused and what are the methods that has been taken changed historically. The next one is tracking the development of theories and technologies. This is about chronological approach. So chronological approach, so different kinds of developments that is taking place. Now you can we are in the trend of artificial intelligence. The chronological approach it showed the milestones of AI in research, starting from early foundational theories to the latest advancements, which helps to contextualize how the field has been evolved. Artificial intelligence has been evolved previously, and according to the recent developments. This is about chronological approach. The next one focusing on methodological approach. So methodological approach focus on group studies, which are based on the research methods which are used in the studies. So this method allows you to compare different qualitative and quantitative and mixed data approaches, which evaluate the strength and the limitations of the research. So it highlights what are the innovative things and what are the emerging trends that has been taken place in the field. That is talks about methodological approach. For instance, you can take an example of reviewing your research on consumer behavior. So where it helps to find out group studies into qualitative approaches, where it can use interviews or case studies for this approach. In case of quantitative approach, you can conduct a survey or experiment for a quantitative approach. In case if you're following mixed research method, so this method provides an insights into variety of researchers, so which approach the same problem in different aspects. This is about methodological approach. The next one is evaluating the sources. When conducting a literature review, you need to evaluate the sources which you include. It is a critical thing in evaluating the sources. So these are the criteria for evaluating the sources. First one is the authority. So is the author is credible or not? Check the author's qualification and background to ensure whether they are an expert in the field or not. Then second one talks about the relevance. Relevance talks about whether it addresses your research questions. Make sure the source is directly related to your research topic or your research questions. That has to be very specific in relevance. Then third one talks about resonancy. Resonancy is nothing but up-to-date data, right? Depending on the field, which ensure what is the source that has been used, which reflect the current trends and the latest development that has been prevailing. Then fourth one talks about credibility, right? Credibility mainly focuses on the peer-reviewed articles and credible publications which provide a higher level of trustworthiness. That is the journal what you're referring. So that it talks about credibility. The next one talks about methodology. So methodology focuses on the research methods and how long it is valid. That is the research robots, where you can able to access the data, whether the study is used for all the research methods and whether appropriate data collection techniques are used for your research or not, for the methodology what you have adopted. The next one talks about bias. Bias in the sense the research has to be take place in a proper and ethical manner. So you need to evaluate each and everything properly. So the findings, the financial and ideological conflicts, everything has to be done proper manner. So by carefully considering each and every criteria, you can ensure that the sources you include in your review are in high quality and which is relevant to your research or not. So this is what the criteria for evaluating your sources. Participants kindly answer the questions which has been availed in the chat box. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being patient. Next topic we are going to see about leveraging tools and techniques. So leveraging tools and techniques in order to streamline your literature review process to be more efficient, it is one of the important things to what are the tools and technologies that has been used in your research. So this helps to manage your references, organize your findings, and what are the citations you are referred. So first we shall see about the things tools what has been used. First one is Menry. So Menry allows you to manage, share, and annotate PDF with ease. So it helps you to create citations effortlessly. Then second one talks about Zotero. So where it helps to collect the references directly from the web and organize them into folders. So by making it easy, you can able to track each and every sources effectively. Then third one talks about EndNote. So in the EndNote, it provides advanced referencing features which customize the citation styles and collaborative options for team-based projects. So these tools are essential for efficiently managing your sources, which helps you to stay organized and simplify the citation processes so that they can able to work a thorough literature reviews by using these tools, mainly Zotero and EndNote. Next one is search engines and databases. This I have already narrated. What are the different types of databases that has been there? I have already said about PubMed, which is used to find out articles for biomedical and life sciences, and Google Scholar, which is used for broader access to academic articles across all the disciplines. Then Scopus, which is used as a comprehensive database for tracking your citations and used for analysis. And last one is Web of Science. So where you can able to find out high quality index journals and citation data for your rigorous research. Then visualization tools mainly talks about creating a visual maps of the research trends. It exploring the connections and what are the networks and who's the co-authorship patterns. For example, analyzing the connection between the keywords like artificial intelligence and machine learning and healthcare. So that is what talks about VOS viewer. The next one talks about BiblioShiny. So it helps to analyze the bibliometric data, which helps to identify the influential authors and publications. It provides an insight into citations impact and what are the emerging trends that has been used and how the user is interactive and how it is user friendly and how it is interfacing the bibliometric analysis. Say for example, you can able to identify the top cited authors in the field of sustainable supply chain management. So according to your research area, you can able to find out who is the best authors. That is about BiblioShiny. The next one talks about technologies that is used for efficiency. There are three kinds of technologies. One is automation tools. So automation tools, that is the softwares like Zotero or a connector. So it helps to download relevant PDFs directly from the websites because nowadays we can able to see many paid articles. You need to pay for the journals for reviewing your research. So only if you're paid, you can able to download the articles, or else you can't able to download any articles. Then while exporting the citations, which is helpful for your reference. So this helps to save your time and ensure accurate citations. Like say for example, automatically saving all your references from a research database into a project folder. That is about talks about automation tools. The next one talks about text mining software. There are some tools like Lexi Manser, or NBIVO helper. So this helps to extract the keywords or the what has been used in your research. So this helps to find out from the large data sets. So by analyzing hundreds of articles, you can able to identify what are the themes and what are the keywords that has been used in your new research. The next one talks about crowd storage. So crowd storage, we have different type of platforms like Dropbox or Google Drive, where you can able to store, where you can able to organize, and where you get able to access documents centrally. So this is about collaborate with the co-authors or team members seamlessly. And for example, you can share updated literature review files with the collaborators across the different locations in real time. This is about talks about cloud storage. Then this is the last content. What we are going to see about is the 5 C's in literature review. So this is the common rule for reviewing a literature, which comes under the 5 C's. The first C is citing. So it is the material you have to refer and use to help you to define your research problem under what particular area you are doing your research. That is what citing first C talks about. And then second C talks about is comparing. So comparing the various arguments, various theories, and various methods, and different findings that has been expressed in the different articles, that is the literatures. So according to that, you need to compare according to your research topic. So that is what talks about second C. Then third one talks about third one talks about contrast. So contrasting the various arguments, like different themes, the different methods, the different approaches, and different controversies which are apparent, and it also describes in which major areas you are contested. So, and what area is currently talkable, and how the research is emerging still in that research topic. That is what it talks about comparing. And fourth C talks about critics. Right. So critics is the literature which describes your arguments more persuasive and explain why that arguments is taking place. Explanation in the sense what are the approaches you are used for your research topics, and based upon your research, what are the findings you have done, and what are the methods you are adopted for your research, and which is most reliable for your research, and which is very valid for your research, and how it is appropriate, and how it is most popular, and why it is more popular. So that is very important. So you need to pay attention to the verbs you use to describe and what previous researchers have stated. And what previous researchers have stated. Say, for example, demonstrates, argues, asserts, or clarifies, etc. So that has to be focused on the critics. Then the last C is the connect. So connect in the sense the various research studies you have reviewed so far for your research. So it describes how your work has been utilized and how it draws attention and how it departs from your study and how you have synthesized the data and what are the add-ons you have added for your research topic and which extends your study for further research. This is about the 5 C's which has been focused so far. So for the writing a literature review, so finally I conclude my speech by saying that you need to go through each and every articles. The articles what you have referred is can't be used for your research. You need to create your article newly only. You need to organize your literature. You need to evaluate your literature according to your research gap and according to your research question. So you need to identify the patterns and what are all the trends, nature, literature that has been followed. So what is the purpose? So you need to examine your objectives. So you need to provide a current. So what is your objectives? Current and complete overview of a related topic. You have to read extensively and form a body of knowledge on the subject or field of study. So this is about literature review. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Professor N. Kribashankar, sir, for your wonderful session. To Professor Santosh Krishna for giving note of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Department of Business Studies, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the esteemed faculty members and participants who have joined us for the enlightening the day 2 of the faculty development program in the topic research methodology for social sciences. A special thank to our esteemed speaker, Professor Mr. N. Kirbashankar sir, for his engaging and insightful session today on the topic of the literature of review of literature. Your expertise has been made to today's session both educational and also thought-provoking. I would like to thank all the participants for your active engagement and contribution throughout this program. And I like to tell, please hold on for the more insightful session this week. We look forward to our continued participation and learning throughout the remaining days of the program. Thank you once again, and I wish all the best in your professional and academic endeavors. Thank you.
Feedback link is posted on the chat box. Participant kindly fill that. Thank you.